Oh my gosh. Of course I'm gonna hit my freaking tripod. Hi everybody. Josh here with Inktology. Happy Monday night. It's a fun one. It's a late one. I've been working on packaging my card game for some Kickstarter fans to get them finally put out. It's been a year since they've been ordered, and if you know anything about Kickstarter, it takes a year for you to get your order mainly because that's just the way life works. So, anyways, tonight's gonna be a fun night. I'm just gonna be doodling. It's gonna be fun. I needed time to break down my brain. Long weekend. Maybe you guys have had a long weekend. I don't know. But if you're new to the channel, my name is Joshua Lamb. I am an illustrator and artist. Everything from murals to pencil work to oil to ink. But I like ink, and that's why this channel is called Inktology, is because most of the stuff that we do here is ink. And tonight we're just going to ink some fun stuff. And, you know, in light of the creator of Dragon Ball Z passing away, I'm going to be doing my boy Goku and some other characters, or just, you know, whoever I want. But Goku, I just saw him and I was like, you know what, I want to do Goku. Yeah, so if you don't mind, that's what we're gonna do, and hopefully it'll be an easy night without any distractions. Real quick, you know. Akira Toriyama, you know, passed away the other day. I think at 68 or something like that years old. He has changed the way us young men have envisioned what it means to be a Super Saiyan. So let's get into it and have some fun. And yeah, let me get my pens ready and we'll get started. So tonight we're gonna be using some brushing, doing some brush pens with the Microns, the Pigma. But when I like to doodle, I like to doodle with either a 1, a 0, 1, or let's see if I have any other pens in here. What is this thing? Uniball, Unipen. It's a 1. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, we're just gonna do the Micron 1. The only problem, the problem why I don't use these very often, unless I'm doing an actual piece, is because the felt tip, if I ruin it, I have to go buy a new one. So I like to use just like kind of like rough. You know what? I got this. Dude, my nose again. It's called the Pilot Razor Point 2. It's a Japanese felt pen, but I have tons of these because these are super cheap. I recommend these for just doodling, and that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to have fun doodling. I'm going to zoom out. Oops. And we're just going to, you know, I would do, you know, the Goku style where he's very like, you know, normal Goku. If I can remember how to draw him. You know, boom, boom, boom. Then his Goku hair, his Super Saiyan hair, which is the best. You know, something about Dragon Ball Z always hits it like a spot in my heart that I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or if all young men who grew up in the, 80s, 90s as a kid, fancied Dragon Ball, or if they were able to access it too, because some kids weren't able to access Dragon Ball Z, and it's not their fault. It's crappy television back in the day. You don't have Netflix, you don't have Cartoon Network back then. I mean, you did, but you still have to have cable television, and it sucks because if you miss the channel, you miss the time slots where your parents were watching their stuff instead of you being able to watch Dragon Ball. You miss out on some of the best episodes and most intense things you'll ever watch, right? And Dragon Ball Z is for sure the craziest thing I think cartoons has ever met. Ninja Turtles, let's see, what else? Transformers, all that stuff, G.I. Joe. They're great and fun cartoons, but that's what they are. They're cartoons. They're not epic tales of like sagas like Dragon Ball Z was. Dragon Ball Z was always like king, I think. I think it was king. I think it was, hey, Daniel, we're drawing Dragon Ball in light of Akira's passing away. I'm just kind of doodling. So right now I'm just, hey, welcome anyways. Happy Monday. But just kind of talking about how anime and Dragon Ball Z has changed the game for most men, I feel like. I don't know too many girls who watch it, I don't. But I feel like for us guys, most of the men that I know, when we grew up, people who grew up with Dragon Ball Z, it changed. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, I'm going to be a little bit raw here. For the Asian community, we're like, that's dope. Let's get into it. But for the white guy, for the black guy, for the Mexican guy, for almost every other ethnicity, it was something super, I'm just saying, it's super, awesomeness for them. Hint, hint. Yeah, Toriyama. Yeah, who doesn't love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z and all the spin-offs that came from that series, right? So it's weird because I love that show so much that I would buy bootleg versions of the game and episodes from Japan before they even reached America on VHS, and I had to buy them from like some sketchy eBay buyer who's ripped them off of this or whatever. And I remember getting my first eBay purchase online of the Final Four, and I think I don't even know if I still have it. I don't think I do. It may be at my mother's house, but I had the original Dragon Ball Z VHS final episode of Dragon Ball Z where he fights I can't even remember who he fought. But it was I remember putting that in the tape player and watching it, in my mind being so blown away. Mainly because I realized I missed out on like probably 100 episodes before that. I was like, wait. I don't know who he's fighting. Why is he fighting this guy? But I had thought I had reached the end, but apparently the Japanese have a whole different system of... Anyways, us in America, we're getting, the crap end of Dragon Ball Z. No, it wasn't Frieza. It was Boo? Was it Boo? Who was it? No, because the pink dude, who I can't remember his name, I think it was Boo. He was actually at that point a friend to Goku. Oh man, I can't even remember. Was it Frieza? No, because Frieza at that point had been destroyed. And it wasn't Cell. I love the fight with Cell. Cell's fight battle was my favorite out of all of them. Him and Cell, especially when Cell just like he destroys Cell and Cell comes back and he's like, oh man, I love it. But I really can't remember because it's been so long. I want to go through the Dragon Ball Z series again, but I'm going to wait till I have a kid and then we're going to go through it together because it's too much to go through. It's like how many thousand episodes? It might have been Majin Buu. I think it might have been. But I felt like Majin Buu was like a friend to him for a second at that time because he was on the sidelines of this final bout at the end. But uh, anyways, I don't know. I'll have to research it. I really don't know. Um, I think all of those fights were amazing, but you know how they come back and they end up fighting again and stuff like that, and you know, freezes a piece. But I don't know. I have to figure it out. I uh, I love it. I miss it already now that I didn't honestly, to tell you the truth, with Akira passing away. I thought Akira passed away a long time ago. Tell you the truth, I didn't know he was still around. So when I just found out he passed away, I was like, "Well, crap, that sucks." Like he passed away at 68 too. I thought he was much older because as a kid, I thought this show was much older than that. I never really looked into, the creation of it, and I feel like I'm an idiot now because I'm sure super fans are like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, but I had stopped watching it after 98 or something like that. Once it got popular in the States, I stopped watching it because it kind of ruined it for me. I was like a super anime. I don't know what you call it, but I was not a fan when it got popular in the States because it kind of took away its specialty to me. I was a big fan of it being something I thought I knew that no one else knew because I was Asian. I wonder if anyone else felt that way because, uh, anime is meant for everybody. It was me being selfish, of course, but I started getting into like Neon Genesis Evangelion and like Pat Labor and other animes like Ninja Scroll and Akira and stuff like that, which was much more dark and much more serious adult stuff. The first time I saw Ninja Scroll, I was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, I think it was when he was fighting the other Boo, the big Boo. Maybe it was the kid Boo. I don't remember. I remember there being a Boo on the sidelines, and then him finding someone else. But then I was confused of like who the other Boo. Why would there was two Boos? Maybe he was fighting the final like the kid Boo. But this was the last episode before Dragon Ball Z ended, and it became Dragon Ball. Oh shoot, what's the other the new? Oh shoot, Dragon Ball Beta. I don't know what it was called. It's something completely different. Dragon Ball something else. GT before GT. That's what it was. Right before GT came out. Um, yeah, he had that final bout, and I think he even died in that, didn't he? I don't know. Um, my memory is so blurry. Yeah, I would think it was GT, and after that, I forgot what happened because it became GT, and then it became something else, and then Dragon Ball got rebooted as Dragon Ball, and which is cool, but you know, I couldn't keep up with the millions of flipping episodes they would coming out with, and then it was even harder because they were translating them into English. And then I was like, well, what episode am I on then? Because I was trying to watch the English and the Japanese at the same time. And that was not easy. So I just gave up. I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave Dragon Ball as a memory in my soul. And, but you know what it did to culture is that it really, really improved a lot of like fans out there, a lot of people who loved, who were raised like this. I remember, and I say this not out of pure any racism whatsoever. But what it made me realize is that I remember this one kid at a Comic-Con, and he was he was a black kid, and he was like super nerding out on Dragon Ball and like the style of Goku and all that kind of stuff, which was super cool. Um, but I think from Texas, me seeing that there was other ethnicities that really like lived out the Dragon Ball Asian lifestyle back in the early 90s and stuff, it gave me so much hope that like, anime was bringing people together. Oh, I'm glad you like those too. We probably would have been great friends watching all these awesome animes that came out. No one else watched them. Sure, I couldn't get anybody else to watch them. But to the story of the kid, he was dressed in this anime style and everything, and he was a black kid. So it was this different idea, because Asians, I think even Koreans and Japanese, they didn't really think of the black community absorbing anime the way they thought that white kids or even Asian kids were taking it in. But in Houston, in my school, there was this kid, there was these kids, and then there was the kid in the Comic-Con, and it just showed me that like, and even like I think I saw some Mexican kids that were just like totally digging it hard, like so hard, and I was such a fan of that idea that all of us guys in the world, when we nerd out, we geek out, no matter what our race is, we find what's the coolest thing that there is, and we are like 100% on it. And Dragon Ball Z was like the first thing that really bound people together. And like, I think girls might have had all different varieties of races of girls might have had Sailor Moon moments maybe, but us guys, I felt like we had Dragon Ball. There was nothing like Dragon Ball. Kamehameha, which I'm trying to draw right here, him powering up and doing a Kamehameha. Actually, you know what? I need to teach it. I'm going to do a video on teaching kids how to get out of this format of drawing and get into more of their own style, because I found that when I was growing up, I was drawing a lot of anime like this because I had watched so darn much of it. When I drew muscles and stuff, it would never look right once I got into my own style, and I didn't want to draw anime. So I might do a video on how to get out of this style, because there's a lot of people who who draw this even till today, and they're like, well, how come my art isn't progressing? And that's because they're stuck in this kind of muscle structure. But anyways, that's off topic. That's way off topic. But anyways, I kind of feel sad because like Dragon Ball Z has done so much for our community of people who love anime and stuff. And I don't even think you have to be a super anime fan to love Dragon Ball Z. You see so much anime on the back of cards these days. People have these stickers of these anime characters who I don't even know who they are. Honestly, I have no idea. But it makes me happy. It sure does, because it just means that their acceptance of cartoons and anime and stuff like that is like super dope. But anyways, I just there hasn't been anything like this in a while, and I think that the passing of Akira, I think the world should really acknowledge his passing, because no one, I don't even think Disney, I mean, maybe Disney definitely did a lot, but I think for our modern generation, it's definitely, Dragon Ball Z that's changed the whole game for us guys, like really connecting and saying, you know what, we love this cartoon, we love this anime that makes us feel powerful or strong or like cool. Yeah, I don't know. I really appreciate it in being in this time period that I got to grow up in, that I got to experience the Dragon Ball Z thing. Because it's pretty rad. It's pretty revolutionary. I don't know if girls understand the power of it, but if you tell them, Sailor Moon or something, maybe they'll get it. I don't know. Oh, thank you. Hey, Nia. You're awake. Are you just starting your adventure on the night? Or is this, I don't even know what time it would be there now. But anyways, welcome. Yeah, I figured I'd do some anime. I haven't done it in good grief, who knows how long. But yeah, trying to get Goku looking right. Getting him on the You know what's funny is that when you draw anime, most of the time, at least for me, I draw the same position so many times that you just kind of hand muscle remember. Hey, Frozzy, welcome. Hello. You just remember all the poses that they do. Because anime's got a structure to it that, like you can draw an anime girl and stuff like pretty simply. I'm just doodling. The reason why I'm doodling him in the anime style right now is not because I'm going to do an anime piece. 4 a.m., staying awake, pushing the limits of life. I'm impressed by your abilities. Truly so. But yeah, so you know what? Let's add the ball in here. Kamehameha ball. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so the Dragon Ball Z honestly deserves an Oscar times 10 to me. I know that the Oscars just happened and they gave it to a whole bunch of people who probably didn't deserve it to me, but honestly, Akira Toriyama, he's done more for this world's connection and giving back. And his fighting scenes, I'm sorry, are amazing. I just watched a couple clips from Dragon Ball Z to get like some inspiration. When when a Goku fights, Boku. Oh my god! When he fights Cell, that's for sure. He goes gnarly mode. Like there's scenes in there where you don't even see the body of Goku. You see it like a millisecond of a flash of a punch of a fist, but it's enough information because us viewers are like we're so in tune with what's happening that like we just know who's punching who and stuff. So no way. So your dad enjoyed it, Frozzy? He watched it and he was like, "This is good stuff." No way. That is sick. That is awesome. If I could get my father to do it, that'd be a miracle. I think it'd be the end of the world though, because there'd be no way my father would even look at an anime. Hell, I don't know anybody. None of my friend groups are into this kind of stuff, which makes me sad in my heart. But oh well. I would love to go. That's what I was telling Daniel earlier, that when I have a kid, what we're going to do is we're going to go through every Ninja Turtle and every Dragon Ball Z episode that there is. Because my buddy in Texas, I admire him with all my heart. He actually, when he had kids, he said he was going to do it. He actually did it. And his kid came out better than most children. Like, I hate to say it. His kid came out so legit. Like a sweetheart. He loved it. Oh, he loved the chemistry between Goku and was it? Why can't I think of names? My gosh. Bum. My brain isn't working. Starts with the B though. Oh, I bet LA people probably would. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. In LA, if you grew up, there'd probably be bigger Asian culture. In Houston, there wasn't like a huge, there was Asians, but then none of them talked to me. That's for sure. The only Asian kid who grew up talking to himself. I try to make Japanese friends too because of this show. Impossible. Burma. Should have known about Burma. Her name is after the country. I don't think I've ever noticed that. It's kind of messed up. Yeah, had a big crush on Burma. Actually, I liked the other girl. The blonde one was the hotter back in the day. That's right. Burma's Vegeta's wife. Who's the blonde one though? Was that Trunks' wife? Dude, I can't remember any episode right now. Somebody's gonna have to help me out. Help me. Who's the blonde, short-haired? Yeah, Chi-Chi was Goku. That's right. I didn't like Chi-Chi. No. I just watched a clip of the new one that you're talking about, and I think I might agree. It's a little bit weird. It's a little bit different. Has a different vibe to it. The old school anime had so much masculinity to it. It was hardcore. The new one, I can't say I know too much about it because I only watched a couple clips, but I could tell that it was already playing on a different vibe. This one was mainly about working out, getting strong, becoming Super Saiyan, dying, finding the Dragon Balls, and then raising Gohan to become the next Goku. The android. Yes, the android. Love the android. Love the android. I love Trunks. When Trunks came out, he was the coolest dude ever. If I could ever, I might do a piece on Trunks alone because Trunks is so bad at the bone. But I may actually do an actual real piece on Dragon Ball. But it's kind of hard because I don't want to interpret my own style of drawing for Dragon Ball Z because the drawing is kind of what makes it. But then again, man, I would love to have a piece that beautifully detailed in ink and, I remember the one episode. I don't know if you guys remember. There was an episode where he's in outer space and he's getting ready to fight. I forget who it is, but I don't know if it was after Cell or before Cell. But he's getting ready to fight. But he has all these he's in the sphere floating in space and he's working out just nonstop. And then he increases the gravity level to high intensity gravity, and it's he has these weights on his arms. And then when he goes to fight the guy on the planet, he's like, "Oh, hey guys, what's up? Oh yeah, we can fight." And then he fights and does this all stuff, and then he takes off his weights, and they hit the ground, and then they make big plumes of smoke, and they're like, "What?" And he was just playing around with weights on still, and then he was so fast he was almost invisible. I was like, "That's the ballerest move I've ever seen." Oh, hey Randy, welcome. Um, yeah, man, manga drawing moods are the best, dude. They are straight up. They straight up they take over your mind. That's what I have to stay away from anime because once I get into anime, I get hardcore anime, and then I'll start doing yeah, it's not good. I don't. That's what I'm just doodling right now. I don't wanna. I don't wanna you know. I don't want to get all detailed, and so I'm just sketching. So, but thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, the gravity thing was dope. And I don't know if you watched Naruto, but when Naruto came out, Rock Lee did the same thing. He was fighting. Shoot, sand guy, sand kid, the kid with the sand thing, and he took off his little weights. His master told him to take them off, and he took them off and dropped them, and they and then they're like, it was so hardcore. I love when anime does that. They just destroy your concept of what power is. Um, anime is the best. Anime is hands down the best. Um, yeah, but yeah, I like to go to anime conventions a lot because the people there are my favorite kind of people. Uh, if I was going to Gara, yeah. Oh, you do know your anime, Daniel. Dang, I didn't know this. I didn't know this about you. Um, I would never have figured either. Look at me judging you. I would never imagined. Um, yeah, I would never imagine that you would know these things or have even watched it. Because I just figured at this old age, at least in our age, how many people do we know that actually followed through with all the episodes and stuff? You know what I mean? But I love to go to anime conventions. I try to go to them all here in LA when they come by in the comic book conventions. Comic book conventions are cool. You know what I mean? Like they're all right. But then anime conventions are better because everyone's dressed up. I don't even know half the characters that they're dressed up like, but I love them. I love the people because they embody their heroes or these characters that they love so much that they went out and actually built an actual outfit. Um, and they're nicer. They're actually just nicer people. Because I grew up as a nerd, I'm a geek, as like someone kind of who didn't really get along with most of the cool kids in school, mainly because I liked anime and this kind of stuff and video games or whatever. But it's funny because like nowadays kids are like, you're the cool kid if you do like anime, which is really weird. I'm reading your message. It says, "Do you feel like the costumes of new animes is kind of bland? Like Chainsaw Man cosplayers are bland because they just yeah. I mean, but then I take into account this one thing. Some of their outfits are like there's a do you know what's that outfit? It gets me mad all the time, but it's not mad. It gets me confused why it's even a costume, but okay, well, look at Goku's, though. Goku's is orange and blue, right? That's pretty darn simple. Uh, but then you have Demon Slayer, where you have that green and black checkered outfit, right? And everyone wears that thing. Not that cool of an outfit. Honestly, I want to see, Neon Genesis Evangelion girl outfits with like the kind of the spandex kind of shimmer, but then it looks like it's kind of an android look to it because it has creases in those right spots and stuff. Or I don't know, even mech. I'm surprised that most anime people don't like mech and tech stuff, like Gundam outfits and stuff. Like if I was gonna build an outfit, I would build Gundam. I'd straight up build a Gundam outfit and walk around as a Gundam character. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. Like that seems way cooler. But yeah, Goku does have an icon, and Trunks does too. And I think Trunks is kind of like that playful between like your modern outfits of just wearing normal casual clothes. He might have been the reason why it got destroyed that way because once he came out, people were like, "Oh, maybe we could dress normal, but in more of a Japanese style, Harajuku or Shinjuku style, or like just putting clothing together to look kind of goofy." But I don't know. When I go to these anime conventions, I just love pretty much everybody who dresses up, anyways, because I'm too shy to even dress up. I'll do LARPing, but I won't dress up, which is weird. I have issues, I know. Anyways, I should fix his crotch area because it looks like he's turned around. But yeah, anime's the best. I need to start. I've been looking for a new anime to watch, and everybody recommends a new one, like all these new ones that they're telling me, and I start them, and it doesn't feel good enough to me, and I feel bad because they're like, no, it gets better, and I'm like, eh. The last one I really watched all the way through was One Note, and it was okay. It wasn't. It didn't like. Oh yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, obviously, yeah, yeah. Well, I think people just got. I don't know. Maybe fans have gotten a little bit lazy with their creation on that kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know. They definitely need to. If you wanted to make an iconic design, what do you think it'd be good? Iconic design. That's so. Most animes that become super popular, they have what it is they stay very simple. The design of the character, like Goku, for example, his is symbol, and he has a symbol on the back or in the front of his. No, he has nothing on the front. He has something on the back, I think. Here, or does he? Maybe he doesn't have something. I thought there was some kind of circular design, or maybe that's Gohan. But the orange and blue is iconic. But then, like, they keep characters simple in their design. But what makes them unique is that they're able to take on a bigger design. For example, like Cell. He just has these blotty kind of spots everywhere. Like, I'm not going to draw Cell. There's no way I'm going to draw Cell. I don't remember what he looks like. He has these, these dots on his skin, which is very normal. But if you saw them, you'd be like, oh, that's obviously Cell. And people could just wear that as a t-shirt and they would know who he is. But I think it's important to have your character be morphable, adaptable, right? So like a lot of your characters have simple designs, they can transform into something more complex, and they get more complex and they become more complex and then more and more and more. But in the end, you always recognize them as their simple form. So I don't know. If I was going to make a anime character, I would. I've never even made an anime character for myself, I think. Huh. That's a good question. That's a good one. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because then a lot of anime they have the ninja outfits or they have the cyborg outfit. Let me see if I can look up something real quick. Let's see best animes. I'm just gonna look up best animes on Google. Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, what are the outfits? I mean, like most of these animes are all the same. Oh, Trigun was nice. I like that outfit. That's pretty legendary. The red coat. But I also feel like here's an issue I do want to bring up. Waifus. Waifus are annoying as hell. I can't stand it. Because like why? Like just because you want to see the big boobs and the big butt? Like, but that's every anime. Like, why do you have to make it a whole theme, right? Uh, like it's taken over everything. Trying to find something that's like different, but eesh, even Demon Slayer. Man, all I see is Demon Slayer. Why is this my feed? I don't know. I don't know. I feel like everything's become. Yeah, I don't like it. Like it was nice to have the waifu characters pop up. Like, okay, let's use Dragon Ball for example. Who was the waifu character? It was the cyborg, or you had maybe one character pop up that had big boobs, and you're like, ooh. But it wasn't exotic, and it wasn't like super, like nasty or anything. If you wanted that kind of raunchiness of a woman kind of figure, you'd go watch like Ninja Scroll. But that was like hentai, that was like it was like oh, that was hardcore. But it kept the division between both of them was so nice that it was like you knew who you were as a person who loved anime. Or if you ran manga. Manga was mostly, obviously manga was waifus all around, but you still had your character development in it. These days, it's literally every single character is a waifu, and a really hardcore waifu at that. Sorry, having the burps. So back in the '80s, they would draw like, I'm trying to, let me think. I can draw a chick real quick. Small shoulders, right? She'd be simple. She'd be wearing a purse or something. No, I gotta draw the neck. And this is actually the kind of like waifu character I would like, is because they weren't exotic. They weren't like, they weren't too fancy. Have her holding like a gun, or no, have her like a purse or something. No, just a bag, whatever, no matter. But her boobs would be right here in the center, and they'd be kind of like a. It's going to get a little weird for me to do this, but especially speaking about it. Her boobs would be kind of perky. These are big boobs, of course, for back in the 80s, but I thought it was tasteful. You have this. Right, and then come here, and then you have the V neck. Let's just cover her with hair because I don't want to draw her face and all this stuff. Am I in camera? Oh, crap. Daggers in your heart. You mean daggers in your heart because you're sad about me ripping on the waifus, or? Yeah, the guys do look too kiddie-ish and stuff. They definitely don't have a. They don't have the. They don't match, because the women are looking so adult sometimes, or if it is like a waifu that's a young girl, then you're like, well, now you're pushing my limits of like what I'm allowed to like. I don't feel appropriate even looking at this, right? Because like if it's a schoolgirl and she comes busting through, and you're like, well, crap, what am I supposed to do with that? Like, I know what you're trying to make people feel like, but then you're only you're giving this feeling to the younger kids, which neglects the older fans of anime, right? And then if like it used to be like the teacher was like the busty kind of waifu character, and all the students would be like, oh. But now it's like the older guy characters in the animes even have a fancy for the younger ones and the older ones, but even the older ones still look young. And it's like, it's getting too mixed. It's getting too the same character. So I feel you if that's what you're meaning. But I mean, they're also playing towards, this new generation that's asking for it. And I'm not trying to be pervy or anything like that. I'm absolutely trying to like talk about this in a very educated way. It's very hard for me because I don't know how to like really explain all this. Ooh, I made her arm way too small. Oops. But yeah. Anyways. You get what I'm saying. So this is like the 80s look. It was very simplified. The nurse. But like even like Pokemon, right? Pokemon had was it Brock and Ash and come on guys, you got to help me here. Oh my god, why do I not remember any name? For 500 points, name the Pokemon female chick of the three crew. Yeah, yeah, I see what you mean, Randy. Yeah, totally. Absolutely. I feel the same way. It's just it's gotten weird. It's gotten weird. It's a weird world now. I had started following um some of the um some of the new animes, and there was this one about a poker. I forget the name of it, but it's a poker anime. I think it came on Netflix. It was one of the earlier ones that came on Netflix, and it was. I think it was like a merge between like all these sexy girls trying to be something, and then like the guys trying to be like, like they're confused how like hot these girls are, but they're gonna play poker and stuff. But it didn't feel right. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel like it was just overload of like waifu, you know. Izakai. You're gonna have to inform me what izakai is. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. The where some girls transported into another world and stuff. Yeah, like an Alice in Wonderland thing. But I don't know. I feel like the '80s did it well. I felt like they kept it, even with like the yeah. Who was the Pokemon chick who was just no like even what's the normal one, the kid girl. She was. I remember one a scene that Ash. When I was in like middle school or high school or something. Ash and Brock were like sneaking, peeking through the bushes, and they see her, and she wasn't like busty or anything. She was just wearing a swimming suit, but they're like, oh, they're drooling, and it was this idea that like, okay, kids can enjoy kids, and like there was this whole like female like exoticness. But then when I watch animes today, when it's supposed to be portraying the same exact thing of like a kid looking at a female kid or a girl looking at a guy, it's like hardcore raunchy. It's like pushing its limits at the best because the angles that the anime are in, where the girl's bent over this way or her skirt flows up or something like that. I'm like, what? How are you getting away with this? Like this is kind of like I don't understand what you're doing. Like this should be almost hentai stuff, you know? If we're gonna do that, you might as well just like I don't understand. Like you can't be pushing the boundaries for that. That's but then I guess everything gets flooded that way, so whatever. Um, yeah, I'm just trying to think of like what's another like waifu, most popular waifu look that they do. Um, hmm, I don't know. They just they straight up draw boobs like they're enormous. They're just stretching out hardcore, and then you have the T-shirt here, you know. And the waifu always has a pointed mouth. I mean, pointed chin. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm ruining my Goku drawing. uh, but anime, anime, anime. Anyway, I prefer the '80s style of keeping, the exotic females at bay compared to the modern day. But so I have a trading card game called I Am Champion, and whenever we started creating it, my artist and I, the biggest issue was that so many people were not happy that we didn't have waifus. And waifus were taking over Kickstarter. Waifus were taking the card game was taking every card game that was coming out had a waifu. And I was like, what is happening? What is a waifu? I didn't even hear the word waifu until like 3 years ago. Yeah, I caught my eye on the boobs. Explode the boobs. He's just destroying. He's mad. He's like, no waifus. Waifu, waifu. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do with anime. So it's hard for me to like find a new anime that I enjoy. Haven't found one. It's been like ages since I started watching an actual, legitimate anime. But I need to find some music. That's what I need to have here. But yeah, not a big fan of the overly sized boobs, especially when they, when you see like anime. I'm just gonna draw a small one version of it. Like, let's say, here's the bathing suit, because they're always in bathing suits. This is gonna turn into a hentai live stream real quick. Eesh. Eesh. Josh, what'd you get yourself into? So I'm just trying to get the image. I'm not gonna draw her face or anything, but like, you know how when boobs and stuff like that, now everything is like, the boob is too big for the bra. You know what I mean? Like, this, where it's like squeezing through and it's bulging over a little bit. So you see how like this little bulge and this little bulge, this like area right here, it's like he'll come in and then he'll bulge out and then bulge in, and they'll do that just because they felt like, oh, this is what kids want these days. They want, waifus to be super bulgy. I don't. There's no need for all that. There's no need for like that. Like, what girl realistically is ever going to pull this off? Especially an Asian girl. What are they expecting? Is all of her white women? No. So One Punch Man, I've actually started a little bit, but then I got distracted because of One Piece. So my wife likes One Piece, and I started that one. But then she told me it was like an infinite amount of episodes, and I was like, oh, like I haven't even finished Naruto really. Like, I don't know if I can continue this kind of nonsense. So I'm looking for one that I can like really has the masculine vibe of DBZ. Maybe even Naruto. Naruto is kind of nice. I like Naruto, but I've lost interest because they started like, they had too many fillers after like episode like 80. They just like, it was like 30 filler episodes or something, I felt like. And I was like, like I can't keep on watching filler episodes like this. They need to have like Dragon Ball Z. What they did was they would give you 10 to 20. They would give you only 10 fillers, really maximum 10. And then you would have the fight. Goku would fight somebody or he would die. Gohan would go do something crazy. Piccolo would have to freaking do some crazy battle with somebody. Like they didn't go past really 10 episodes. But these days it feels like they can go up to 20 to 30 episodes without having a real subject happen. I mean, that's my take on it. One Punch Man may be really good. It definitely seems fun. Seems very fun. Yeah, so I may check that out and actually continue that one, but I don't know. I don't know anything about the chainsaw. I know Attack on Titan looked pretty cool. I started that, but I just fell off because I didn't have Netflix anymore. I think it was. So have you guys actually watched that and thought it was all right? Or what's your take on Attack on Titan? Attack on Titan. Well, either way. Yeah, either way. Well, that's good. If they feel like Dragon Ball Z fight scenes where like they're zipping through in a really high speed and like intense, that'd be great. Because that's what I love. I love the intensity that DBZ brings. Not too much like it. I mean, Naruto. The reason why I watched Naruto was because of that, actually, because it was had that like jumping around, disappearing kind of. Even the video games were like that. They were just like this. I love the Dragon Ball Z video games. They were freaking amazing. But is there anything like it today? Who knows? I'm glad that you guys are so educated on anime because I sure am not. I've fallen away pretty heavily. And I love Japan. Like, Japan's my favorite country. I go there every single chance I get. But when it comes to anime, just don't have hope for it anymore. Now that Akira's gone, it's even more sad. Oh, yeah? MC is too overpowered now. Yeah, I probably ain't missing much. Vaccine Man looks like Piccolo. Yeah, and yeah, I agree. The Phantom is probably it feels yeah, I can see how it could feel cringe. I think I'm so out of the game though. I don't even know how to feel anymore. It's a I want to get like I said, I want to get back into it. It's super scary cuz I'm like I don't know. I don't know how do people react these days? Like, like when you were a fan of DBZ and you met someone else who was a fan of DBZ or like another anime, they were like you guys connected. You were friends for life. But like is it now like you're judged because you don't watch this anime? Is it like, "Oh, you don't I don't know. I remember back when Nerve was the thing and like what was the other big anime producer uh anyways, Nerve, I mean, you go to Hot Topic and maybe you would see like an anime t-shirt and you'd pick it up and you'd be like, "Oh, dope." And people would recognize the Nerve logo or like some kind of anime logo. But I don't know how they are today. Are they like judgy or whatnot? Plus, I'm not a kid anymore, so I don't know how to like. I don't know how I'm going to connect with the anime people who are super fans. I dressed up as on this last anime convention or was it comic convention, anime convention. I don't know what I went to recently. I was in LA, but anyways, I dressed up as son of a biscuit, Rock Lee, not Rock Lee, his master. Mother, son, how are my brain? I'm losing my brain. I'm gonna have Alzheimer's. I promise. This is the ridiculous. Rock Lee's master. What the hell? Mighty Guy. Good grief, Mighty Guy. Goodness. Yeah, I went as Mighty Guy. How do I forget that? I dressed up like the dude. No one actually, I mean, I think some people recognized me, but then no one acknowledged it. Kind of offended me. I was like, Mighty Guy's the best. He's like the best. He's kind of like Bruce Lee. You should just acknowledge him. Then again, I don't know. The anime costumes have gotten pretty intense these days, especially in LA. People dress up like, some of these costumes are pretty amazing. Some are really trash. They need to work harder. I'm not gonna lie. You need to work harder, guys. You can't be coming in there saying your, Warhammer outfit is made up of, random pieces of clothing. It's got to be some kind of hard fabric. And if you're going to dress up like Gohan, please make it orange. Please. Guy Sensei? Mighty Guy Sensei? Yeah. I just know it's Mighty Guy. I didn't know they call him a Guy Sensei. I guess that's what. Obviously that's what they say. See how out of tune I am with it. Can't even draw anime anymore. Look at this nonsense. Gohan looks like he went to the wrong barber. Come on. Best part is like the muscles will always stay the same. You draw the cloth. I do miss anime a little bit though, especially drawing it. When I was in middle school, they'd make me my buddies would make me draw so much anime. Not the good kind of anime either. It was definitely the waifu and hentai. That was mainly what they made me draw. But if you get paid a couple bucks for being a 12-year-old, that's a lot of money. So you could pay me to do anything. I mean, draw anything back in the day. Hard part was hiding it from teachers. Man, teachers were like hawks. They definitely, if they see you drawing, they're like, "What are you drawing?" Oof. Oh, Naruto villains. Yeah, I lost track too. Too many. And they didn't even seem that special either. Like when you met a Dragon Ball Z villain, you're like, how powerful is he? And the great thing about what Toriyama did was that when you fought even though they might look similar, they might even have a similar face structure. The difference is that they came from a different planet. They had this special power to them. And then when they fought Goku, or whoever they're fighting, they always had a hidden ability up their sleeve. Like they could die and come back super strong, or they could morph into something else and become Super Saiyan easier. And they're like, "What? How could he do that? Oh my God!" And you're always shocked with them. You're like, "What? How could he do that?" It's like you've seen it 100 times in Dragon Ball, but then you're still shocked. And whatever, like it still was fun to watch. And then whenever Goku actually did die, and then they had to get the Dragon Balls and bring them back and stuff, it was like, what? Like, I don't understand. You're just like baffled that the main, like, your TV show character's done for, but then he's not done for, because they would never let him really die. They would never let anybody really die in DBZ, but you felt like they were close to it. Snitches. What snitches? I'm trying to think of what snitches is. Snitches. Oh yeah, Goku versus Cooler. Yeah, that's a pretty. Yeah, but Cooler, he almost felt like, I don't know. He was interesting. He was an interesting battle. I felt like that sometimes they made him so overpowered in some of those fight scenes, and I'm like, well, how did Goku come back from that? How did he regain after some of those blasts and stuff? Like with Frieza, you had like, you knew that Frieza could, like, he was gonna come back. He had his different morphing stages and stuff. I don't know. Cooler's weird. Oh, snitches, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Those kids definitely sell you out. Freaking kids in school, freaking punks. Josh is drawing hentai. I'm not drawing hentai. It's Dragon Ball Z character. You should know. I have to like vouch for myself so hard. Yeah, loved it. You zoom out a little bit. Running out of page. kids back in the day. Punks. Punks. Oh, you know what? I'll do Cooler. Cooler's head was the best. He had that alien head looking thing. See, his eyes were like, oh gosh. How's he? The butthole eyes. That's right. Butthole eyes, and then the Frieza head helmet looking thing. Kind of had this. He had this. You know, I think he was a perfect merge between Cell and Frieza. That's who I think he was. My favorite character. Who's your favorite character of Dragon Ball Z? That's what do you guys think is your favorite character? Mine is Vegeta. He's my favorite. He has the biggest redemption story. He has bad to good, but then still kind of a jerk. You know, the best. Kind of reminds me. Cooler reminds me of Shredder from Ninja Turtles. Oh my gosh, yeah. That was hardcore. That was so hardcore. Majin Buu was a beast. Majin Buu was scary. I remember when Majin Buu came out, it was like, what kind of bad guy is this? Like, I've never even seen a bad guy like this before. I don't think anyone in DBZ saw anyone who is that vicious as well as like kind of crazy, because you didn't really know what he was going to do and capable of. It was wild. That was wild. Those episodes. I missed half of those episodes because of I think at that time I was switching schools or something, so I couldn't get attuned to my TV and get to the episodes. Made me very sad. Made me very, very sad. And that was about the time that I started actually falling away from Dragon Ball Z too. So I don't remember that. He went inside Gogeta's mouth? Yeah, Gotenks was amazing. Actually, Gotenks, whenever he tells Piccolo he's going to transform, and he's all buff as a little kid. You know, he's already in a Super Saiyan form, and he's like, just chill out. And he's like, and he turns out he's got his longer hair and everything, and Piccolo's like, what? And he's just like a buff little looking kid. It's crazy. But I don't remember when Gogeta beat him up inside his mouth. That's intense. I'm gonna have to watch that. What? I don't remember that. That sounds crazy. That sounds gnarly. Okay, I'm gonna have to watch some of these episodes just for memory purposes, because that's not cool. I can't live like that. What? Oh man. See, there's so much I missed. Darn me. Darn me. I must be missing such good episodes then. Ay. Vegito, okay. I still don't remember that. I don't remember when he goes into anybody's body. when Boo does that. I don't even who it is. I still won't remember. I bet you that was a time that I skipped some of those episodes in order to just get to the end of the final bout because I don't know if I was in high school or what, but there was a time period where I was trying to get out of the anime scene because I was skateboarding at the time, and I just needed to finish my like desire for anime episodes, so I probably went straight to the end. I remember having to I don't know if you guys remember, like, if you had a PlayStation back in the day, you'd have to, if you wanted to play Dragon Ball, you'd have to buy it from Japan or buy a hacked version or hack your piece PlayStation. I had to like hack my PlayStation and like disassemble it, put the little chip in that you bought from some sketchy buyer, and that chip would allow you to play burnt ROMs and all this kind of stuff. And that's when I started playing Dragon Ball like Z games and stuff. And then I stopped watching the episodes as much. Sad. Oh, no way. I'll have to watch that, Frozzy. He can track your spirit energy across the universe? What? Okay. We're gonna have to watch this. I'm gonna have to re-up on my DBZ stuff because I'm not gonna be able to sleep unless I figure this one out. What? It kind of reminds me of whenever you know when Goku first did his spirit bomb, and it was like it looked like it was gonna blow up the planet Earth or whatever planet they were on. I was like, what? When are you gonna stop growing that thing? And it made it feel like that spirit bomb was just gonna destroy everything. Oh, Goku. Somehow you're so powerful, but then yet every single time you beat somebody, there's someone stronger. How is that possible, dude? How is that possible? I don't understand it. Because, I mean, Goku should technically be a god at this point, you know? But yet, he's not. Oh man, Boo's tough though. Boo was he was probably I feel like he was the strongest one of them all. It felt like when he came out, it felt like he was the strongest. I don't know who came out afterwards that was obviously stronger, but to me he felt almost invincible. Let's see. What other characters can I draw? I'm running out of page here. Let's see. Vegeta. I want to draw Vegeta. Vegeta. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Uno momento. Okay. I gotta use a restroom too, but I definitely want to draw Vegeta a little bit. I love Vegeta's face. He's got the best looking look in those eyebrows. It's funny because I saw a meme recently where it just showed all the different Dragon Ball Z characters. If you just swap their hair, they're roughly the same exact character. And it's so true. They are the same character. They're the same drawings. So that actually gives me a lot of hope for artists. If you're an artist and you love anime, the trick isn't actually changing the face. If you realize all the faces are roughly the same within the style of anime, like Dragon Ball Z has this style of sharp chins and chiseled noses and stuff like that. If you stay within it, you can just change the hair and then the mouth. The smirk is really where you get different characters. Like Vegeta's was always higher to his mouth, right? And he was always smirking. But the eyes were identical. They were just this triangular ridiculousness that Goku and Gohan and all of them had. So when I learned anime, I just learned the format of what they, what they all look like, the face structure, because the face was always going to be, it's going to be triangular. You start with the chin. I always start with the chin. It used to start with the chin, and then you go upwards. It's easier to go to that, and then I'll jack this one up though. It's been so long. Crap. But you can fix it with his forehead, his ridiculously large forehead, and then his pointy. The reason why I think I liked Vegeta so much is because I have a receding hairline as an Asian guy, and I was like, you know what, Vegeta and we have something in common. We have receding hairlines. Yeah, that's probably what it is, actually. Yeah. So, anywho, and his big old ears. This is young Vegeta, apparently. Yeesh. I definitely need to practice my anime. I thought about doing an actual anime piece recently, like a on Procreate, because I've never done an anime piece that I've colored. It was always black and white, but I've always wanted to do like a legit, like hardcore, the subtle changes. That's exactly what it is. It's all subtle, very subtle for anime. I wanted to do like an actual poster piece. You know how they have all the different colors and stuff flying around and kind of like very, whatever. But I did a piece. I have a video on it actually on YouTube. It's the Akira from, or it's Kaneda from the movie Akira, the 80s film, which is the best anime of all time, I think. Yeah, hands down, I think it's still the best to me. But I did that one. I did that in watercolor, but I want to do an actual Procreate colored version so I can animate it a little bit and have like the floating flowers and the dust and stuff like that. So I just don't know which character I want to kind of do. I could create my own, but then I don't know. Anime is kind of fan-based stuff, and unless you have an entire series of your anime characters, there's really no point in creating your own, I feel like sometimes, unless you are going to create a comic book or a manga. But if you're going to just draw a one-off, it's probably smarter to do a Dragon Ball Z character or something of that nature. Mainly because to be honest, it gets better views for people to look at your work, and B, it's fun to really live out your kind of characters. Like Vegeta, I may do a Vegeta in my own style, like a little bit different, obviously a different style than DBZ puts out. I want to do it in a style like I can't even explain it. I have to show it to you. But if you ever look at it like an anime poster, they're very glossy. Everything looks kind of liquidy almost of the coloring, not so flat like DBZ. But I don't know if I'd want to do it in my Inktology style, where I over ink everything, because anime is all about simplicity, as well as like muscles and stuff. And not being accurate to the body structure at all whatsoever. Vegeta's darn huge shoulder pads that make no sense. Vegeta, why do you have such big shoulder pads, buddy? Okay. But we're almost done with the live stream tonight. Yeah, cell shading, but cell shading can also be simplified too, but I'm talking about a little bit like triple cell shading. So where it's like, what's an anime that has a really heavy... I don't know. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how it would be named. I just don't know the name, so I can't really tell it to you. I could show you on my phone, maybe. Let me look it up real quick. Let's see. Kind of like, well, internet. If your internet would work, Josh, why do you pay for high-speed internet if it doesn't want to work? I don't know why I pay for this if nothing's going to show up. Awesome. I love it. I freaking love it. Okay. Here we go. It's starting to work again. Kind of like, wow, nothing has it. You know when you look for something or you want to tell somebody something and then it never appears because you're so, because it's the way the universe works against you. That's what's happening right now. Forgive me. Give me a second. The internet is, it hates my soul in every fashion. Why are you giving me 80s everything? Oh, here we go. Okay, that's still not even it. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's raunchy. Okay, let's not do that. I guess the closest thing I can think of is something like this. Look, right? I don't know what this anime is, but the color schemes of like how they're, that's not even right. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something a little bit more shiny. I'm wasting everybody's time. I'm wasting my time. Screw it. Maybe it doesn't exist anymore in my oh my gosh, what is this nonsense? I typed in an anime poster to show you guys, and then I get weird anime stuff. Stuff I've never even seen before. I'm furious. It's embarrassing. Anyways, okay. I just want to do high intensity anime style, which is not on any of my feed or anything that I'm doing. Oh, here we go. There we go. Of course, I'm gonna draw my pen. You see this one with Demon Slayer, kind of how like it's very digitalized, but it's also got different shadings of they're not cell shaded perfectly. There's a blend actually. Her hair is a perfect example. Stop it. Stop it. So like that right there. Yeah. I want to try this out. The reason why is because you can see that there's so many different layers of shading here. Except for the face and the skin tones. But like there's a lot going on. I think this would look cool with Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. Or like a Vegeta would look dope in that, I think. I really don't understand why when I look for something, it just disappears. Oh yeah, this is what I was watching to get to have motivation today. I wonder if I'm allowed to show this on the live stream. Maybe the sound is what would get me. Hold on, I'm gonna turn down the sound. Oh, kicked in the. Oh yeah, look at that. That's rough. Oh. Okay. I don't want to get this. this video taken down because we were like, I mean, the YouTube's like a little pissed off, but I don't know. You know, even though that was fast paced fighting back in the day, it's kind of slow paced now that I think about it. Ah, I loved it. I love it. If you guys haven't been to Japan and you guys love anime, I would highly, and I mean highly, recommend you get out of your comfort zone. Save up like $1,500. I know it's a lot of money, but save up like the plane ticket is actually only about 800 if you get it at the right time. But then spend $400 for the room and stuff, and then just eat ramen. Don't even eat good food. Just eat ramen. You don't need good food. The ramen at the gas station or the convenience store is just as good. Well, it's not just as good, but you can live off of it. And then you go to like all these awesome places and enjoy yourself. I never had a more fun time. I never have a more fun time than I am in Japan. Out of all the countries I've been to, yeah, you can feel the pain that he got kicked right in the stomach. And the eyes are like twitching from cells, like just going nuts. Oh, ho, 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 ho. It's so good. But yeah, go to Japan. Japan is very sweet people. They're very kind. You don't need to speak Japanese. Like they're very accommodating. Plus, once you're there, you're gonna want to learn a little bit of Japanese on your own, anyways. Just because guilt gets into you usually, or most people that I know. And Japanese is actually easier than you think. It's not. I mean, not the full language, obviously, but I recommend it. I tell anybody if they want to go to any country first, don't go to Korea. Go to Japan because the Japanese are the most clean and unique type of person I've ever met. Korea is kind of wild and wacky, and I don't trust my Korean families. You know, nothing wrong with them, but they don't. You know, yeah, bias. That's all it is. A little bias. But yeah, Japanese. Like, you know what? When I went to Japan, I had this conversation with if you go to Japan, go to. I mean, you have to go to Tokyo. Tokyo is like Tokyo. You know what I mean? Watch. What's that movie with Bill Murray in it? Lost in Translation. Just like that. Very wild people. People are kind of kooky and fun. But then, if you want to go somewhere to get the culture of Japan, go to Kyoto or Osaka. Those two cities are a little bit smaller than, obviously a lot smaller than Tokyo, but they hold such a beautiful like you go to any of the temples, you go to like any of these anime stores, and people are just so radical. Okay, for example, my wife and I were eating at this. We were looking for this ramen place that she found on. Well, actually, we didn't find. We found in the back of an alley of a pachinko place, a gambling place, and there was these kids lined up, kind of like thug-looking Japanese kids, rocker kids, but they were like in a gang. They looked like they're part of like a yakuza kind of gang, but they were also like, "Hey, we're all tough guys." They were looking all tough, and my wife was like, "Well, should we go eat there?" Because they're sitting in line for this Japanese ramen place that looks really good. And the reason why we judge really good, that means that the line's big enough and all the Japanese people, then it must be good. And it's in the back alley. If it's in a back alley, it's got to be fantastic. So we're sitting there, we're like, the pachinko place is there. So that means probably drunk people late at night, midnight. Is this a sketchy place? Are we going to get like stabbed? Like, what's going to happen? But Japan's not like that way at all. They don't do that to foreigners. There's nothing dangerous in Japan at all. But we're like, okay, these kids look punks. They look like punks. We go over there and we're behind them and they're all like talking trash to each other in Japanese. And we're like, I think I tapped one on the shoulder and we talked to them. We're like, hey, how is this place? And they instantly all turned around and turned into little anime characters. They're like little kids, like, oh, hi,大丈夫です。Like trying to tell us that we can eat in front of them, like you move, like they became like they were sweet. And my wife and I are just so like baffled. We're like, oh my god, this would never happen in America for sure. And sure enough, we ate in there, and we're eating there, and all these people are eating there, like just like late night, different types of people. You got drunk people, you got the kids, the gangster kids, and all this, and everyone is just quiet because you're respecting the food because the food is so darn good. you can't really think to talk about anything. You're just like in awe that you're eating something that tastes like magic. If like if an angel came down and, you know, I don't know, created the best soup in the world and then like blessed it by the gods of all these different magical beings, and then it was blessed by a dragon, that's what you're eating. You're like, what? What's happening? I still fantasize about it. It's hardcore. Anyways, I would say Osaka is really cool. Kyoto is really cool. But you have to go to Tokyo because Tokyo has all the anime stuff, and they have like Nintendo stores that are super unique, and like everyone's so friendly there. And Shinjuku, if you go to Shinjuku area with all the outfits and people were dressed up like rock, like they just so cool. Oh man. My first time going to Japan, I worked for United Airlines. And what ended up happening was I had a girlfriend that I was dating at the time, and we had broken up, and I had lost my mind as a young 22-year-old or something. I don't know. And I was working for United, so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to jump on the first plane out of the country. So I went to the airport, didn't tell anybody. I got my friend to drop me off except for him. He's the only person who knew, and I told him not to tell anybody. And he goes, oh, shoot. 1 second, guys. Let me put you on a commercial break for a millisecond while I change this. Sorry, to Kiev. I've been trying to find. I have all these like travel videos I created for my other channels and stuff that I'm just using as my fillers until I go pee and stuff or whatever. But which I need to find the Japanese Osaka one. That would have been better. I just didn't know I was gonna do all this Dragon Ball Z stuff. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I went to the airport. And I was supposed to work like the next day, but I was like, screw it, I'm just going to lose my job. I used my pass, and back in that day, whenever you got on an airplane, you could just jump on any airplane and just go. And it was the day that Steve Irwin, if you don't know who he is, he's an Australian Bob Ross, pretty much, of animals. And he had passed away that day at the airport. I was like, watching it on the news, he had died, and I was like, I'm going to go to Australia. But then I thought about it, I was like, I don't want to go to Australia and everyone be so sad, yeah? So I was like, nah, I ain't going to do that, eh? So I jumped on the Japanese, because there was one going to Tokyo, and I was like, Tokyo it is. I've always wanted to go. And 16 hours later, I'm landing in Tokyo with only $20 in my pocket, no idea where to stay the night. Yeah, I was just going to pretty much become homeless there. And that's the truth. In which I did. I actually found a guest house, hostel, and I stayed there for 2 nights, about 2 nights, because $20 was able to get me 2 nights for that time. And the day after, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm screwed. And then this film crew, this guy and this girl, the Japanese guy and girl, came in looking for tourists to say they can film. We want to film somebody, and we'll pay for you to just do whatever and travel. Just tell us what you want to do in Japan. No one wanted to take the opportunity because they had their own plans, right? They were with friends and family and stuff like that, touring Japan. But I was like, I'll take that up for sure. And they're like, what do you want to do? I'm like, I want to go to a sumo match. I want to go do underground drifting, like Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. I want to do I want to learn kendo from a samurai master. I want to eat the best sushi in Japan, and I want to something else. I forget the last one. Anyways, they're like, well, okay, the sumo matches aren't going on. The Tokyo Drift stuff is run by Yakuza, so it's too dangerous, and we can't get you in there as a foreigner. And then so they're like, we can do the samurai thing, the kendo match, and then we can do the sushi, and then something else. So that's what they did. They allowed me to tour with them and walk around, and oh yeah, I told them I wanted to go to Tokyo Square, with the cross section of the Tokyo people, and I wanted to scream out Gojira, Gojira, and then see what people did, and they looked at me so pissed off at me, but I was like, I want to do it, just let me do it, and sure enough, they let me do it, and I did it. I screamed out, Godzilla! Ah! Ah! And I turned around acting like Godzilla was there. No one blinked an eye. Everyone just kept walking forward. I looked at them with such disappointment. I was hoping to have a frantic panic in the city. That made me so sad. It is what it is, though. I did get to learn from a kendo master. He gave me an outfit. I got beat by a freaking 7-year-old in kendo, but he let me keep the kendo uniform. I did get to go eat some really amazing sushi and got really sick because I didn't realize some of that sushi is hardcore. I got to see amazing rockers, but the best part of my Japanese trip was this Japanese old man who came up to me. He saw me filming just the park of these rockers jamming because they like to do like this rock music in Japan. And he came up to me and he wanted to talk to me about the war that he was in with America. And I was like, okay. And he didn't speak much English at all, if not any. And I recorded the whole thing. Maybe I'll show it to you all one day. And I didn't understand what he was saying, but what I did get out of it was that he was like, it's not America's fault. We understand. And I had such a good time because I met American soldiers and all this kind of stuff. He had a whole different view than I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to be pissed that America bombed him and everything. But that moment, I just met this old man who had to be at least like 80 years old, but he wanted to talk to me, who was a 20-year-old American. And he was so sweet about it. Those little things in life change everything. And I really appreciate it. So I'd recommend going to Tokyo. It's something out of this world, but yeah, I've been to Sapporo. It's not that great. Don't go there. People are there kind of rude, mean. Yeah, just take to Osaka, and a lot of my friends are from I don't know, some island on the bottom. My brain's not working right now. I've been awake for too long. But anyways, back to the drawing. I appreciate you guys talking to me about all the cool... Why is this thing so bright all of a sudden? Anime stuff that I need to figure out. So this was Doodle Night. And actually, thank you guys, because my brain really needed to just kind of filter out some drawings and sketch and stuff. We got Cooler here. We got Vegeta, a young Vegeta, I guess. Gohan, Goku, Booby. And that's it. Doodle me silly, you know what I mean? Not the best anime I've ever done, but I don't care. I want to say thank you for Akira Toriyama for being the man who's changed my youth in a way that I will never be able to repay, honestly. So, yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Toriyama, thank you. And Goku, thank you for fighting all those fights. Frozzy, Daniel, Nia, and whoever else, Randy, thank you guys for chatting with me and informing me about your thoughts of anime and stuff like that. I hope you guys have a great rest of the night. And yeah, DBZ did change us all, didn't it? So salute to DBZ and salute to you guys. And if you guys are artists and you're creatives, go out there and create and do your art, because that's what DBZ taught us to do. Keep fighting, keep becoming Super Saiyan, and keep looking for more balls. I think that's what it was teaching us. Anyways, have a good night, guys. Thank you for watching.